it's just me. I'm not trying to please somebody else.
Yes.
And I've got out of that idea of I actually don't give a tod if somebody likes it or they don't like it. Yeah. Because you know what? Most people will appreciate that you're being yourself. You have the savvy investor, the educated investor, and then you have the I've got a bit of money, let's go invest investor who is happy to just keep bidding because they think it's, when they just don't understand, and that's danger area when you don't understand. And that's why take that money, take the time, educate yourself, and then come in as one of these savvy investors. I suppose it's probably a bit hard on myself. There was always searching, but not pulling the trigger.
Right.
And always think, oh, maybe wait till the kids are up a bit.
I'll
maybe wait. And I don't know what you're ever waiting for, because it'll never come. You'll always find that next.
It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah. So.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Property. I'm your host Richard Swan, and in today's show we have another fabulous guest. We're going all over the country these days. I'm just loving these interviews that I'm having because I'm getting to meet some of these superstars in the world of property, getting to know what they're doing, you're getting to enjoy their stories, what they're up to, so on and so forth. But we're jumping about here, there and everywhere. We've been down to England and had some guests. Now we're going over the water, yes, to the Emerald Isle in Northern Ireland. Because this is the thing, property is property is property. Yes, of course, we can chat to anyone who's investing in property anywhere in the world. But it's good to get that localised chat, that regional chat. How does it work there, and what's the subtle differences, and what are you finding in the market, and so on and so forth. And who better than someone I lovingly call the Princess of Northern Ireland, Eimear Gourley. Hello there, welcome.
Hi Rich, thank you so much for having me, really appreciate it.
This is great fun. Yeah. You've had a great trip, you and the husband Kieran, you've been over on the boat I think you took, yes?
Yes,
had a trip over
very
out in the mainland.
No children.
No children.
No stress. No children is always no stress. Is that how this works? Children
there's a correlation there, isn't there?
Yeah,
yes.
there is, yeah.
And that, to be honest, that's one of the things I want to chat to you about as well, because there'll be folks listening in, I can't do that, I can't invest in property, and I can't buy, I've got kids and stuff, there's no time. No, there's no excuses. So all of your background, all your things, I want to use that and channel that because it can help others. You can encourage others and inspire others.
Yeah.
But I know what you're up to just now. I know all the stuff that you're in. It's just amazing what you're doing. We know each other through Paul McFadden's Property Protege programme, so I can see the stuff you're up to. Yeah. But what was life before that? What was Eimear's backstory? What's the career and the things and the twists and turns? What was behind all this?
So I am by trade a civil engineer. So I went to uni and did civil engineering. I didn't actually really know what civil engineering was. I just knew that it was a career that had lots of opportunity, lots of money. Pre-2007 it had lots of money, and that was and there were loads of jobs. You could take your skills, they were transferable throughout the whole world. And there was the lure of on-site work and office work. And basically, for me, it was going into a career that just allowed me to have my own core skills and use them in any way. Right. So that was it. So
anybody in the family in that whole area?
I do. My mum's side of the family have a building company. Right. So my granda started a building company, like a joinery business from scratch. Wow. So that was in their side. It was never something that I got involved in. Right. And in the engineering side, not really. So my dad and his background was all IT and technology, and my mum was in tourism. So there's not that mad. Wow. So I was a wee bit lost at school. Right. Really understanding where I wanted to go because I love problem solving. I love doing math, and I love doing, but not to the extreme of wanting to be an accountant or something. Right. I love the practical side, so very sporty, love people. So for me, I was really struggling to find out where is it? Do I become
these are the things
do I become a nurse to try and help people, but then that kind of takes away from the practical side of the business and stuff. So I was lost. And then when I looked into civil engineering, it kind of ticked all the boxes. Right. So I did my degree and I loved it. I really, really loved every aspect of it, that you could be out on site, but then you could actually be doing the design work. Right. And for me, it kind of led me to wanting to be more, project management, design based. but having the element of kind of being on site too to manage.
Right.
Which then, for my job, then I started working for Northern Ireland Water, which is a utilities company, so it's the only utilities company for water in Northern Ireland, as a project manager.
Wow.
And it literally, from that point, that I realised that is exactly what I love, is project management.
Really?
And project managing.
What about it?
It's managing people, managing expectations. I have a very good skill of taking a step back and understanding an entire situation.
Right, the big jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, from everybody's angles, because as, I suppose, a civil engineer, you've got all of the other types of engineers coming in, and they might be laser focused on electrical, and they only care about the electrics.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, that might be okay, but actually the guys over here who are actually building it, that doesn't work. So it's helping everybody to bring everybody together.
Right.
And I love it, and I am great at it, and I'm a great people person. So at the same time as doing the actual, the design and the development in terms of the management of it, then it's stakeholder management. So it's managing all of the internal people who haven't or invested or have an interest in the projects, but then also the public bodies, businesses, and making sure everybody knows what's happening. It's all about expectation management.
Right.
And that's what I love. I just feel like I'm very good at it. I'm a people person.
Oh, definitely.
But with the full understanding of the mechanics, and then I'm able to bring things from a technical level to a layman's terms and really spell it out for other people who are not in the same industry, for them to understand.
Yes.
So that's what I love about it.
That's
and
brilliant.
I've been doing that now since I left uni. So what's that?
Too long ago.
3 years ago. I'm not that old.
3.5 at tops.
So nearly 10 years I've been doing that, and I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And at the same time as doing that, obviously, I am majorly involved in hockey. I love hockey. I always have. So train 2 times a week and play competitively on the Saturday.
What?
Bringing the kids in too. Like now they do their training on Sundays, and I've been a member of the committee on the hockey club now for about 9 years.
Right.
So I run all the social stuff and fundraising. So all of these things kind of brought in together.
Oh my God. See, when you jump into something, it's just
100%.
take over.
But I'm one of those people that when people say, who would do this? They're like, Eimear will do it. She just does it.
She's someone who does stuff.
Yeah, instead of just going, oh, there's too much. I'll say, well, I'll find time. Funny, I said there recently, I'm going to start doing Pilates. And my mother-in-law said, where do you find the time? And my answer is always, I want to do it, so I'll make time. And it's as simple. I'm not sacrificing, I'm just moving.
Yeah.
Nothing's really going to sacrifice. And, loads of people say, you're not spending time with the kids. You say, no, do the Pilates, and the kids then sit beside me and they do it.
Right.
You bring them with you in the journey. So when people say that they don't have enough time because they've got kids, the two things should not be separate. It's your life and your children's life. You do as much as you can. Like at the minute, bringing the kids to viewings, you pick them up from school and you go, right, let's go up to school, let's go to a viewing. And it's teaching them everything about you and what you're doing. And I love it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so
how are they finding that? Can you see them asking questions and looking?
The stuff so not so much the younger two. So my eldest, she's 5, and she has a great appreciation. She's definitely one of those ones, all before her time. So she understands things. She asks the right questions, and I say, we're going to this house. Is that the house that it was a mess, and you didn't have the bathroom, and it was all knocked down, and this here, look, and she's understanding, and then I brought her back, and she's like, wow.
So she saw the before and after?
Yeah, so she was there, and
nice.
then she actually said, is that when all the workmen were sitting having their lunch in the living room? I was like, yes, that was the one. So
it's getting recorded?
She is watching and learning and taking note. So I say that to everybody. Your kids will mirror you, will take on board everything. So make sure they're mirroring the right things that you're doing.
Good example.
That's
a good role model thing.
So
I love that.
That's me in a nutshell. It's work and it's kids, and it's like my life has been kids. So now I was just saying that, like, between being pregnant and having kids for so long, it's a massive commitment.
Yeah.
But you have to get into the mindset of, that's not just your one role. You're not just a mum.
Yeah.
You are your own person. Yeah. And I never really wanted to get stuck into that, just you're a mum now, and as a woman, that's just what you have to do. Like, well, I can do it all, and I'm going to show you I can do it all.
Good on
and
you.
Especially in male-dominated industries, where it's always, like, there's been a few times where I've taken a project, and I have really, as a junior in the team, I have taken the project from where it got stuck for years and pushed it on.
Right.
And then I've had to step back, go have a baby, and then I come back, and the project's leaped on. Or what's happened a few times is, like, it's coming to the finish of it, and then I'm away, and other people then get the recognition for the project. And I'm like, oh, I'm gutted, but it's the project that's getting the recognition.
Right.
But part of me that, as a woman, you just have to have sacrifices that, look, sometimes in the career, you have to take a break from it to get the family, but you get back on it and you do it.
Get back stuck into
it. There's a lot around being a woman and wanting kids, but still wanting the career, and especially in male-dominated industries where they don't have to take the break.
That's right.
They can if they want.
Yeah.
But it's about just leveling up and keeping going with what you want to be doing. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm sitting here mesmerised. It's brilliant getting these perspectives and understand, because it's something I'll never understand fully, But that's class. I think a lot of people take a lot from that. And I love how you've never limited yourself in that way. And I love your angles of your mindset of, no, if it's something I really want to do, I will make the time for it. I'll juggle something around. I'll make sure it works. And then I've still got an eye on the kids. Okay, I'm bringing them in Pilates. They're off to the side. The viewings are coming with me, this kind of thing. That's fantastic. That's absolutely brilliant. Where did the kind of first step into the property part of your business and world and stuff? Do you remember that?
It was one of those things. So we were accidental landlords.
Was it one of those?
Everybody has this horrific story that totally puts them off property for the rest of their life. So owned a house, didn't like the area, and negative equity, can't leave, right, let's move, we'll rent it out. Everybody makes money out of property, it's easy.
It's a doddle.
It's so easy. Got a tenant in, kind of vetted her ourselves. Right. She was lovely, she was pregnant, from the area, just thought, she'd be great fit. Yeah. No. Worst. 2 months in, stopped paying the rent. Oh, took 9 months through the courts to get her out. The place was trashed, and we just said, that's it. So we just cut our losses, moved on, and then just focused on building our own home and our own family and our own businesses, that side of it. And then we started to look, what do we want? You do yourself, what do we want out of life here?
Yes.
It could be a Saturday afternoon or a Tuesday evening, and you're like, what are we doing with our lives right now?
Wait a minute here.
Yeah, let's just pause.
Kieran, sit down, we need to chat.
Yeah, that's it. So we've always been interested, we've always done bits and pieces, like major renovation work and stuff to your own house was never a problem because of my background.
Especially your brain of piecing things together.
So that was it. Everything we've done is, we are, I don't know if you've just gathered, but obsessive. Whenever we get our teeth into something, it's hell for leather, and we're going to do it, and it's going to be right and 100%. So with all of that happening, we're thinking, look, I don't really want to be stuck in this 9-to-5 job. It's a great job, but you're taking tiny wee steps up the ladder, and how far does that go?
Yeah.
And we thought, right, what's the best way? And we had so many wacky businesses ideas. What do we need to invent to make money? What do we need to provide back? It was all these crazy things, and nothing really seemed to fit with our lifestyle, that we could actually either have the knowledge, the experience, and the time, or the money and the effort to put into it.
Gotcha.
So then we thought about, let's look at property. And for me, it was very much, you buy your property, you hold it, you save up. You buy your property, you hold it, you do it. And I'd seen a few people, and I was like, how do they do it?
Yeah.
How does this work? So then we started to look into, educate ourselves. And I always say to anybody that says they want to get into property, I say, well, the first thing you need to do is go spend some money or time, if you're just going to do it, through the internet.
Yeah.
Educate yourself, because you can't do it without understanding what is out there.
Yeah.
So then we came along, chatted to you guys, and my mind was just blown. And we're like, this... like everybody says, is this right?
Wait a minute.
Does this sound right? But I had experience in, like, people that I knew had already been through the process, and they were doing brilliant. So then I said, right, let's go for it. We'd committed in December. So I was just over 9 months pregnant in December.
I was going to say that, yeah, exactly.
So we came to see you guys, sat there for 2 days, sitting on a chair with a bump going, oh my goodness, this is awful. But we were committed at that point, and then there was one of the courses in January. I was like, well, I'm due, maybe the 10th of January. Could I make it? Could I not make it? So my baby was born on the 21st of January, so I would have missed that date anyway. And then we said, right, we'll come and do the full course with your guys later on in the year. And then COVID hit.
Then COVID.
So COVID could have put anybody into spin. The world's going to end. Why are you bothering to further yourself? Yeah. To start a business, basically.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But we said, look, we decided to do this pre-COVID. We know that we don't want to come out the other side of whatever COVID even is. Could it be a month? Could it be 3 years? Could it be anything? Yeah. I would be kicking myself. So I was on maternity. The whole world has stopped. Yep. I'm not going to waste this unbelievable opportunity to further myself. This is exactly the type of business that suits us. We can help ourselves. We can help other people. We can just get started in something that then is going to have longevity and not something that's a flash in the pan.
Exactly.
And that's really what was important about what you guys teach, is that it's all about the foundation and the base of what you're doing. It's not these quick wins. Like, it takes a long time to really to delve into yourself and to understand what skills you have to bring to help other people. Like, there's no point me trying to help somebody in an area that I don't know myself. Exactly. Because you're doing them a disservice as yourself. So for me, the project management, my background in understanding building work and understanding the process in the construction industry, it helped. Property is different, but it helped me to fully understand that. And then basically our commitment is second to none. So we are probably, like what you say, entrepreneurs. They're the only type of people that work 80 hours a week to avoid the 40-hour work week. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So true. But that's what we want to do. Like, we work every hour that we can. Yeah. And sometimes it's just listening to something. Maybe it's it's not all mad, but every minute, like sometimes whenever I'm even doing the washing, things that you have to do, there are these mundane tasks. You're like, why can I make this better? And then you put your headphones in and you're listening to a book that's either giving you motivation or inspiration or education, and you're always furthering yourself. And that's, for me, time. And we go right back to the start of what you said of, I don't have enough time because I've got kids. I don't have enough time. Well, that might be true because you don't have enough time in your own head. But once you decide to make your own time, you can literally do anything. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing for me. People always say, well, how can you do that? How can you? Or they talk to me and say, oh, well, I don't have that, And I'm like, oh no, I do that too. And they're like, oh, what other excuse can I find?
What can I come up with?
Yeah, that means that I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
And I say, look, you will always find excuses if that's what you're looking for. Yeah. Or you'll be able to push yourself forward if it's something that you want to be doing.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. And have you, Kieran, both had that mindset, being lifelong learners, entrepreneurial spark? Have you always had that?
Yeah, we've
shared that?
Yeah, we've always funny. My husband was always the when he was growing up, it was like, you're too intense. You're too you want to know everything. Just
that curiosity.
You tell him something and he's away and he wants to know absolutely everything about the one thing. Yeah. And it's that thing of that's always been like suppressed. And it's that if somebody has an intensity about them, they're labelled. Oh, get that person some medication. They're too something. No, let's express it. You're just not funneling it into the right thing. So we've always been very, I suppose, frustrated in that we knew we had skills and kind of passion and drive, but we just couldn't find that outlet to what it was. And then as soon as we kind of found that, you want to hear like the amount of things that we had gone to do, like opening hockey shops and opening stuff and like coming up with we're a big allergy family, like loads of issues.
Oh, really?
It's about, we'd come up with this fictitious character to help kids understand, and we had so many ideas that we went, but it didn't have the love in them. Do you know what? And the property stuff, I just love it. The two of us.
You've just found
and it's more than the property, it's the people.
Yeah.
Like even being here today, you wouldn't be here if you were doing something else that's kind of on your own. And the amount of people that I've even met along the journey is just fantastic. You do have to pause sometimes and think, am I doing property or am I just networking for the crack?
Am I
just like phoning people, spending a half hour on the call just to meet people? But it's all about who you know, like, and it really is who you know and how you can help each other. And even sometimes it's just to have a chat and nothing more than sharing experiences. And it sometimes just gives you that wee lift. Oh, they've been through that struggle.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. Oh, if they've been through this and they were going through that, I can flip and do it too.
Exactly.
And that's it. Sometimes it just takes talking to people about anything. Sometimes, like, it's so mindset related.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Everything is about yourself. It's your own limiting beliefs that, I don't have. Oh, who would know that? Who would want to ask me?
Yeah,
Well,
that's right.
Anybody that you want to share it with. And that's it. It's always at first, when you're going on to social media or something, nobody wants to listen to what I have to say.
This is just my world, you know.
Yeah.
Who cares? What value is in this?
Yeah.
Let's put ourselves down and limits and blocks and obstacles. And
once you can just pull the top off that,
you
literally have a world. And it sounds so cliche, the world is your oyster. But it actually is. You can go and do and be anything that you want to be. And it's just, once you can get into that mindset. Yeah. Once you get into that mindset, you can't put me back in that box.
No, that's it. The genie's out the bottle.
I know, anytime I find myself going, but I can't, I can see my husband looking at me going, did you use those words? Did you use the words, I can't?
The sweary words.
Yeah, and you're just not allowed negativity now. When you're around somebody and you say, how you doing? Well, like, I'm out. I can't. Well, I'm great. Yeah, everything's and it might not be great.
Yeah.
All the time, every time, but it's,
of course.
And everybody has their issues and things that they need to work out or work towards, whatever. But having the positive attitude, you'll get through your problems so much faster.
That's so true. And you've got that brain for that. You said at the start, you're a problem solver. You absolutely are.
Yeah.
And God, you're one of the characters. We have the weekly support calls and you come in with great questions and you think of different angles and brainstorming and stuff. So you've got that part of the puzzle, but you're outgoing, you're bubbly, you're always connecting with other people and connecting dots and answering other folks' questions and stuff, Is that people part of the puzzle? Has that always been there? Is that just you? Is that who you are?
It's always been something, and this is what, like, in school and stuff, again, I always felt like, like I wasn't the most popular person in the class. It was like trailing along with the popular guys. It's like, I know I have so much more to give,
right?
But I just could never find that time to, like, express myself as me. And then once when I went to university, you lose. It was kind of that, I actually, whenever I applied for university, I didn't get it. I didn't get the A levels that I needed. I had kind of obviously put my expectations on myself way too high whenever I'd applied. So at the very end, whenever he said, no, sorry, I didn't get in, I was scrambling. There was no universities, nothing. So I was literally phoning up the course director saying, can you take me on here?
Where are you?
And they were going, well, there's another course here, sustainable engineering. And I was like, that sounds lovely, but I really don't want to be doing that.
However,
thank you for the opportunity. That's not what I want. And they were like, right, okay, come on aboard. And then it was like, right, I don't have anywhere to live. I'm going here, nowhere to live. Phoning the accommodation, like, can you just get me somewhere? Can you? And it's always about being proactive.
Right.
And that wasn't really me.
Right.
And I thought, from whenever I went to university, I just said, right, this is the new me. And everybody says you can reinvent yourself to anybody you want. But I really felt I can either sink or swim here.
Yep.
I can start to be who I want to be.
Yep.
And then that's whenever I really started to kind of shine. And then even getting into this, the property world, it's like the new level of me. I actually feel like I am properly being me now.
Oh, really?
And I'm really being able to
feel that?
Yeah, so it's about being able to talk about me. So I've always been a very reserved, like, person.
What?
I know, like, no. I know you wouldn't believe it.
I don't believe that.
Like, even ask my mum, like, she would never know what's going on in my life. Like, my family would always find out after. Like, my social media was locked down. Like, it was only my friends, like, and it was very much, I suppose a lot of people in the mindset is, well, it's my life, don't be telling anybody. Don't tell people what you're doing. And I had this mad thing that if I told people about it, it wouldn't happen. So I'll just keep it to myself until it happens.
Right.
And everything was all very locked down, and I felt like it was nearly suppressing myself. And it was like, well, I can't put that out on social media because what would people think? What would people think? And that's a massive thing. And it was a massive thing for me to really to knock that on the head. So once we kind of made the decision, right, that's it. We cannot get anywhere in business if we do not tell every single person we see, even shouting it out in the street, what I am here to do, who I am here to help, what I can provide and what other people can do for me. And once that was it, then the floodgates kind of opened, and then I felt like I could be myself. Brilliant. And even like doing me videos and stuff, it can feel like it's just me. I'm not trying to please somebody else.
Yes.
And I've got out of that idea of I actually don't give a tod if somebody likes it or they don't like it. Because you know what? Most people will appreciate that you're being yourself. And you're not trying to be. And some people will go, oh, she's chatting again, your woman. And I say, that's okay, you don't have to listen to me.
Exactly.
But it's for people there that do want to listen and they're getting something from it.
They certainly are.
Whatever it is, they're taking wee nuggets. And if it's helping people, I'll just keep doing it.
Good on you.
And that's, so I am a completely different person, but I feel like I'm me now.
You're the real you.
I feel like I've now
the real you's
my
there.
own personality, my own... Everything is coming out in what I'm doing. So
that's tremendous. And you are helping people. It's amazing. You can see all the services your business gives, the people you help, selling, buying, agents, builders, you're connecting all these dots. You're using your project management skills to make sure the process runs to plan, keeping on top of things. Then you've got the human dynamics part, those stakeholders you spoke about. Right, do you know what's happening? Do I need to communicate anything to you? You got a problem? Can I help you with such and such? And it's all there. It's all there. And you're doing it with the marketing. The marketing, I think marketing is it's got a bad label. It's this...
It makes it hard.
It's a made-up thing. It's a pretense thing. Someone's selling a new cereal box, right? Get the marketing right. But no, it's not that. You're just getting your message out there. By the way, this is what I do. Do you need this? Can I help you with this? Because this is what I do. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's good. I'm going to get in touch with her. This is fantastic. And you're helping all these people. It's great. And you're doing a nice wee thing just now. Folks who are listening to this, make sure when it's safe to do so, go into the show notes page. You'll see all the links, okay? Follow her, connect with her, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You're doing this nice wee series of just giving away wee tips and tricks and things to think about. And in fact, the one I saw yesterday was in the stamp duty. Just talk about that. And it's so simple. In your head, it's like, why the hell would I even put that out? But it's one of those things people miss out and they get their numbers all wrong. Like, oh shit, I never knew that. I never knew that. Oh you're an investor now. You need to work this into your numbers. So it's gold dust. How did that come about?
To be honest, it's kind of like what you're saying. Whenever you start doing things, you don't appreciate the knowledge that you have. And that whenever I started to talk to so we call them potential investors, clients who are looking to work with us, I would be rattling off and chatting away, and they were going, but I was like, you don't really follow me.
You can see it.
And that's what I said at the start. From my previous experience of technical knowledge, and then bringing that into real world talk,
common speak.
Say acronyms. Everybody talks in acronyms, and I'm like, I don't even know what you're saying. I literally do not understand a word because you're using letters and they don't make sense.
And
because
this property world is full of them.
Could mean anything. So for me, it's really about trying to, the people that we're hoping to do business with, the people that we put out our information to, are the people that want to invest in property, that need help. The people who already know what they're doing, they're probably not for us because they've already done it and they know everything off the back of their head. But it's the people that, they need help understanding the entire process. What is an investment property? How does that relate to my money in the bank?
Exactly.
How do I get involved in this? Where do I find it?
What's the steps?
Who helps me? How do I get the money? How do I get it through the legal process? How do I do the work? How do I get the letters? And
forget it.
Yes, and that's exactly what happens. It goes, oh goodness, I will not do it. I'm going to just keep it in the bank. It's a lot easier. Get my 0.04% of whatever it is. That's easy, right? I'm comfortable with that.
I'm comfortable with losing money.
And that's where I'm there to try and break it all down and say, look, as a first instance, I'm here to do it all, okay? But then I'll break it back down. I can offer all of these different services, and then in each service, this is who I bring in. I'm not a mortgage broker, and I'm not going to be giving you finance advice because that's not me. I'm not a solicitor. I don't do the law. I know the process. And that's what I think is really important. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know how to specifically do it in terms of the mortgage broker. I know that you need, if you're looking to buy a mortgage or to use finance, you need somebody who's going to do it for you.
Find that
so
right
go and
product
get them.
and so
you know,
on.
and you're going to, and it's understanding. So then it brings you back then another step. People don't even know that this service exists.
Yeah.
So then if they don't know it exists, let's just put it out there that people can then understand. And the easiest way to do it is short, sharp tips in really basic terms. And basic, sometimes people go, well, you're treating me like an idiot.
You're talking down to me.
Yeah,
no,
but I'm not.
No.
I'm just bringing the words down to a better level that everybody can understand.
Simplifying the process.
Yeah, because even people who are in an industry for so long, they talk in, I suppose, gibberish.
Yeah.
Or there's other parts of it they go, do you know what, I never really understood that part because that's not where I go.
That's not
about me, and I actually learned something from what you just said.
Exactly.
And that's where the tips have come apart.
I love it.
I think that there's always value in providing any bit of anything that's in here out there. You know, I've obviously taken a long journey on educating myself through in so many different ways through my actual, you know, the business knowledge, property knowledge. Let's just share it.
Yeah.
You know, everything shared will help somebody.
Love it.
And then obviously the aim is that the more value that I'm giving out to people, then they see that I am more valuable, and then they hopefully then will come and do the business. Whether that be with everything or just small parts of the services that I provide, then, well, that's it.
I love that. That's a brilliant way of looking at it, you know, and it's something we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
And just that value, being able to give it, and your value then gets recognised. You know,
that's it.
The value comes back to you. It's brilliant. Now, you've got so many things on the go there now. If people go into some of the posts and stuff you're doing, and you get snapshots and videos and all sorts of stuff, how would you summarise what you're up to these days? What areas are you focusing on?
So the biggest thing that we're doing now is working with clients to either build portfolios or do flips.
Right.
So myself and my builder have teamed up to do, which I think is actually a fantastic joint venture, because he's committed and he wants to do the best job for our project at the best price to maximise.
Brilliant.
So now that I've got financial commitment in, he's got financial commitment in, then he's going to do the best as he can do.
Yeah.
Not to say that he never would always do the best.
I know.
But
you're not just a client.
You're not a client.
Yes.
We're a team.
And
we're 100% going forward. And he loves the fact that I just do everything to do with the project management, the getting the deal, the talking to the solicitors, to do everything else.
Yeah.
And he just has to turn up on site and actually do the work.
And do his bit.
And that's it. Because that's what he was like, I love this kind of stuff, but I just see what you're doing. I cannot cope with it. And I'm like, well, I love it. See what you're doing? I wouldn't even lift a hammer. I am not a hands-on person with doing refurbishments
Mind you, I've seen you on site. I've seen hard hats and, you know, devices and vehicles and everything just hanging about there.
Yeah, I look at them. That's not for me. But yeah, so that's the thing. And then so that's for myself. So it's us and business partner, and then it's doing the same thing. So finding properties for people who either don't have the experience, most of the people who just don't have the time to actually manage it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I was speaking to somebody recently, and it was, well, we have a build team, and I said, well, that's fantastic, you could use them. And he said, but if I used yours, then that would free me up to go and do X, Y, Z.
You see?
I was like, absolutely. So it's finding other people. Projects to refurbish and flip on, and then also other people to find them projects that sometimes they don't need refurbishment. It's just finding them the deal for them to add to their portfolio. You know, there was recently there, it was last week, and it is perfect. The house is, or it's an apartment, is in perfect condition, and the woman just wanted to move out. She wanted a price for it. She got the price for it. The investor needed a return for it. He got his return for it. Here we go. Everybody's happy.
Brilliant.
And I didn't. There was nothing else for me to do, and it's showing that it's not all complicated.
Yeah.
It's not all having to rip down walls, and then it's just sometimes like a paint, new cupboards.
Yeah.
But the house that we've got at the minute, it's actually the trees are going through the windows.
Oh my God.
It's got no heating system whatsoever. It's got a back burner. It's got no kitchen. We actually walked into the house and fell through the floor, and like it's totally rotten.
The glamorous side of the property.
It is just. But do you know what? When you get there, and then I went in, I'm a firm believer. The people that know the house the most, if it's not the people in it, it's the neighbours.
Right.
So that's
a good point.
Yeah. So obviously Muggins here. When I came out of the house, the builder was standing there going, we'd need to know about that roof and we'd need to know about that. And he's just looking at the neighbours who's totally renovated going, away you go there.
On you go.
And I was like,
you're up.
Yeah, for goodness sake, it's me again. So I just walked away and I was like, knock, knock, how you doing? It's just me here. And it's that friendly face of somebody saying, I'm going to be buying this.
Yeah.
And they're going, oh my goodness, thank you so much. That is an eyesore. It's actually causing problems on the mine.
To them, exactly.
To them.
Yeah.
And you are like a saviour.
Yeah.
So then they're going, do you need anything? If you need anything at all, I was like, I might be calling in for a wee cup of tea because obviously there's no electric or anything in this house. I might need to use your toilet, that kind of stuff. And they're like, anything, please do.
And what can you tell me about the roof? And what can
and that's it. And then it's like, oh, well, this is it. We bought our house here and that is it. And it's just, and actually when I came out of there, I looked down the street and there was a roofer on a roof about 5 houses down. And I went down and I was like, how you doing?
Are you busy?
I've got a house up the road there. And he looked at it and I was like, look, would you give me a cost? And I'll not hold it to you, but give me something of a ballpark and what's involved. And then that was it. Give me your business card. And it is as simple. But if you don't ask, you're not going to get. And that, I am a firm believer in that ever. Like the house that we're doing for ourselves, there was a bit of an issue. People were scared of it because there was a boundary issue and the fence wasn't in the right way. And I was like, right, do you know who knows about the fence? The neighbour.
The neighbour.
Went down, knocked on the door and I said, look, I'm going to buy this house. And she was like, good luck to you. And I was like, oh, okay, this isn't going to be very good.
It's a good start.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, what have I done? And then I said, I'm going to actually be knocking down the garage. And she was like, are you joking? I said, oh gosh, what have I done? I've made another mistake. She said, I didn't say, no, I'm going to knock that down. She was like, this is fantastic. I was going to move. She was in the process of leaving her house.
Really?
Because the guy that lived there built a garage and basically she had nowhere to park and he started to park in her area. And it was just, the small things in life are so magnified and become such an issue that she was literally prepared to move. Whenever I told her that I was moving this, she just was delighted.
You're the saviour again.
Yeah, and she was like, see that boundary issue? That was only there because I had to put something up because X, Y and Z, take it down. No issues. And that was it. And I was like, this is great. And I said, listen, obviously there's not great parking around here and I'm going to be bringing a team of guys and we're going to be doing this and that and the other. Can we park in your driveway? She's like, yeah. Of course. My daughter was out in the morning and I was like, look, this is great. If you need anything, just you pop round and the guys will be here anyway, blah, blah, blah. And it's all, life is about people and relationships, the good, the bad and the ugly. Yep. You need to identify the bad or the time wasters or the people who are not going to be good for you, but you really see the people that are good, you know them immediately. And it's relationships are that's what everything's built on, really. So that's what I'd say. Like I love doing all these different projects. They're totally random. You never know what you're going to get. You don't know what the person phoning you is going to be looking for. And you don't know what's going to come through your door as an opportunity. So I am open to all and every opportunity that knocks, within reason, obviously. You don't want to be going off chasing rainbows.
Exactly, wasting your time.
I know, well, that's it. So really excited. All of these things. So there's 6 properties at the minute that are kind of within the next month all going to be falling into place. Right. And then it's just getting on the ground again and starting all these.
Yeah,
and then it's getting the same. Yep. So it's like little waves of work, which is, that's what you need. You just need the consistency of it. So yeah, I love it.
Brilliant.
And it's just everything else as well, the mindset stuff and the travelling and seeing people now that this is going to be allowed more.
Finally.
I'm so excited.
We're released.
And the social media side of it, like that's a job.
Yeah.
We used to say, see those social media influencers, they just sit on their phone. Like, what are they, these YouTube stars? They don't do anything. Oh my goodness, I have a serious amount of respect for anybody that is a social media influencer, that anybody that this is their full-time job, posting videos. It is hard work.
Yeah, you find that.
Yeah, but once you get over that idea that what do people want to hear about me for? You always have something to say. Anything. Like, so what I do a lot is I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and if they will resonate with me in some form or other. Yeah. And I take what they're saying to me and I go, yeah, that's so true. And then I just say it in my own way, in my own message.
That's right.
And put this is the way you should do it and this is how I'm doing it, to give you an example of that it's possible. Yeah. And you don't always have to be, I don't know what people think is amazing these days of doing to put out on social media, but just day-to-day life is sometimes it's inspirational to some people, and they want to watch it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so lots happening.
Oh, it certainly
busy
is.
And I love it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if people, other investors listening in, for example, is it okay for them to reach out to you and stuff?
Yeah.
You'd be able to help them and stuff?
Do you know what? That's actually something that's massively increased as well. A lot of people just looking help. Some people are, look, please really help me. I'm in this situation. I need help. And I say, listen, all I can do is give you my experience. And if this can help you, it can. Or I can say, look, contact this X, Y, and Z professional and they will help you. But yeah, it's I suppose it's the borderline, fine line too, between giving out as much as you can to help those people who are genuinely just looking for help. But you can spot those people because they're up front and they say, can you help me?
Yep.
And the minute somebody says to me, can you help me? I'm like, yep, what do you need? You have done the first step that most people won't do is ask for help and reached out. And I think, fair play.
Yep.
It takes a lot to reach out to someone, ask, and because you're showing a weakness in yourself that you don't know everything. So it's really hard to do that. And then on the flip side, you've got the people who just want information.
Right.
They are those information suckers that take your time, your knowledge, your energy, and you need to cut them because
just vampires.
They do. And that's where I've struggled massively.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you want to help.
I'm just trying. I'm like just a nice person, and nice doesn't always cut it. And nice gets taken advantage of, and I am trying my hardest to be not so nice.
Not so nice.
Be more hard-nosed.
To value yourself.
And
totally.
It's trying to get other people to... I have self-worth. I know my value. I probably don't know my worth as much as I should. I probably still downplay my own time, but that's something that I'm really building and really trying to work on. It's accountability in myself and just... getting people to understand that you can't just willy-nilly take and get nothing else. There has to be a cut-off point. Yeah. And I suppose that's my biggest struggle at the minute.
Right, that's interesting.
Yeah, so my biggest struggle is identifying people who are either leading me down a blind path, that they're not really ever going anywhere, and trying to cut that off. Be that people who are trying to sell you something or trying to buy something. There's always the people in either way, and it's hard to identify it. And you trust. I've always been brought up, take people on face value. Yep. Talk to everybody on your level. It's courtesy. And that's the way it is. But then you realise that not everybody is being genuine. Yeah. And I do feel that is my biggest problem at the minute.
That's interesting.
Trying to identify people like that. To say, look, if this is what your aim is, we just cannot work together, and I don't actually want to contact you again. Please delete my number.
Because you can't work with everybody.
You can't.
You don't have the time.
I'm getting better at just saying to people, look, this is what you're looking for. I can't do that for you. And I say that to anybody. I am not going to tell you I can do something if I can't. Brilliant. And you know what? Most people will say, okay, well, what can you do? And I say, well, this is what I can do. And this is how I could provide a service for you. And most times they go, okay, that's me. We'll work together.
There you go.
So people are either, I don't like the word chancing their arm. Maybe they don't understand what's out there and what's available. And I say that opportunity could come along, and we will always look out for that. But also, this is what's there. This is what's readily available. And this is what I can do for you. And we can move. If you're looking to invest, and it's something you've been thinking about, why are you waiting? Yeah. Why are you asking 15 other people to get the same answer? Yeah. If you're looking for an answer to a question, take the answer and move forward.
And let's
because time is the only thing that you don't have enough of.
Yes.
Just,
oh God, that's so
move.
true.
The only thing, when I say to people, the only thing you're losing here is time if you don't get started now in something that you're doing. And I suppose that's one of my biggest regrets is sitting on the sideline for years, thinking. I suppose it's probably a bit hard on myself. That was always searching, but not pulling the trigger. Right. And always saying, "Oh, maybe wait. I'll maybe wait till the kids are up a bit. I'll maybe wait. Okay. I'll maybe wait." And I don't know what you're ever waiting for, because it'll never come. You'll always find that next.
It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah. So, as much as still doing everything, you always have that idea of, well, I'll wait until this happens. But just do it. And that is just my new thing. Just, as Nike say, just do it. Just get out there, pull the trigger, and whatever it is you're trying to do or trying to become, just ask the question, bite the bullet and do it. Yeah, and then work out as you go along. No one's going to do it for you.
No, exactly. No, that's a brilliant thing to share. I love that. Now, localised, regional. I'm just thinking of this. I've got a fellow business owner and investor, but you're in Northern Ireland. Yeah. So as I said at the start, property is property is property. Yes, it is, Richard, but there's the nitty-gritty, lower level details, differences. So, there's stamp duty differences between Scotland and England. The law is between the Welsh people buying a property and someone in Scotland buying a property. There's wee subtle differences. What would you share about Northern Ireland? What have you noticed with, that's slightly different over here, or that you would share to people that are in Northern Ireland and they're thinking about it?
Yeah, so the first thing I would like to make clear to everybody is Northern Ireland is still part of the UK.
It is.
And that, you have no idea that people think that we work in euros.
Is that right?
And we're not part of the UK. And it's not something, I say, look, just to let you know, as a UK business, money is still money. We're still ruled by the same rulings. It all is still the way that it is. And to be honest, we're fairly similar. Like stamp duty stuff, England and Northern Ireland are very similar with everything you're doing. In terms of the law, in terms of the processes, as you just said,
same thing.
Property is property. You have to have the money. You go through the legal system.
Yeah.
You buy it, you have your landlord responsibilities or whatever it is. And it is very similar. It's about understanding the I suppose, the criteria and the due diligence. And that's that's the difference.
Right.
It's going in, and if you're from England and you're in a certain area, and this is the prices that you're paying for a 3-bed terrace house, and these are the returns that you would expect, based on a rental income. Well, that's clearly going to be different in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Over Northern Ireland, the entry prices are much lower than the rest of the UK.
Right.
Which
is great news for an investor.
Yeah, which is great. But it's not that you're then getting lower returns.
Yes.
You're getting the same return, but you're able to put less capital in, so you're able to maybe you're diversifying.
That's a dream.
Yeah, so instead of buying the one property, maybe South England, that's going to get you your return, then you're actually be able to buy 5, 6, 7 of them. So it just allows you to then, if you later down the line want to, cut some of those away, if it's a portfolio, you want to sell some of those, you can.
Yeah.
But if you own one, you can't just cut it in half and say I only want half of that. It's gone, and then you're left. So that's where we're at. But at the same time, our capital growth is still as strong as the rest of the UK. So in terms of the way the property market is at the minute, we are still on the up and up. There's no difference.
You're experiencing that same thing.
And market values, the bidding prices that are going on, tens of people going to every viewing.
Everything's dates, all this kind of thing.
Well, we don't do closing dates.
No, do you not do that? Right.
So that's just, I suppose, a closing date maybe would be a good thing, because there's an end.
Cut off, there's a deadline.
Everybody knows. Whereas in Northern Ireland, you can bid. There's no. I know here that whenever you put an offer in on a house, that's it. If it's accepted, that's it. You can't, you're locked in. Whereas in Northern Ireland, you put your offer in, if accepted, you can still pull out until the day that you actually have it completed, and that's it.
Okay.
So what we have is basically the homeowner decides when they've had enough bidders, and at the minute, what's happening is that, I don't know, maybe they're being egged on or whatever by the rest of the market to say, we'll just hold out. We'll wait for another bid. Hopefully we'll go to a bidding war. And that's just pushing the prices up. And that's why anything that we have, so you have Rightmove, we have Property Pal, so it is a completely and utterly different system.
Is it?
You know everything about everything. We know nothing about anything. Everything is very, very closed down. So to understand the market, you need to fully understand the market.
Right.
There's no sold prices. There's no, it's a very, so you've got a very transparent market.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't.
You just don't have that.
We don't have it. So I suppose that makes me more valuable.
Exactly. I was just thinking that. My goodness. Yeah.
I know a lot that other people wouldn't know. And that, going into different streets, I have an awareness then of, the typical prices, but then able to know from previous experience what that house went for, what the type or the rental. Because one street to the next, I'm sure you have in places here, one street to the next could be massive.
Could be a big
you could be
difference.
outside the school boundary, you could just be beside something that's maybe not so good or closer to something that's great.
Yeah.
And that's the way that having the local knowledge is imperative for doing property investment. But anybody that's looking for a property on the market as an investment purpose, they're just being bid out, because you have the savvy investor, the educated investor, and then you have the I've got a bit of money, let's go investor who is happy to just keep bidding because they think it's, when they just don't understand, and that's danger area when you don't understand. And that's why take that money, take the time, educate yourself, and then come in as one of these savvy investors. But those, they can't get the deals that are online, and that's where myself understanding the market gets the deals that aren't on the market, and gets the deals then, and doing the negotiation, if I can get the word out, behind the scenes, and not having the masses kind of bidding on it.
Just this emotional bidding war.
Yeah, and that's it. And then again, that's what's happening. There's a lot of sales that are falling through because people are getting tied up in things. So we're still a strong market. We're in Northern Ireland. We haven't reached anywhere near the kind of pre-crash prices that we had. So I suppose it is a slower growth that we've been having. It's maybe more sustainable.
I was going to say that, it brings a bit of stability.
We don't have as full to far. My words, I think we're going to have to stop soon. my mic isn't working.
That boat ride's been too much.
So it's about kind of understanding that we're still there. People think we're still back in the trouble days. And actually,
so there's that as well.
Yeah, actually, the media have a bit to play to that as well, because one thing will happen on one street in Belfast, and it's Northern Ireland's being plunged back into the bad days again. It's like, no, that's actually, I was at a house there at the other street, and all you heard was the helicopter. That was it. You didn't actually hear that there's nothing. But people within Northern Ireland still think that exists widespread, and then so it's, for me, the biggest thing that I'm trying to do at the minute is educate people on Northern Ireland, bring people in, and the people that are here, get them to actually understand the market and get investment going. There's so many opportunities out there. It's just finding them, grabbing them,
find the right ones,
and moving on them,
and doing your numbers right as well.
Yeah, it's the due diligence is absolutely key, and it's understanding. What's your stamp duty going to be if you're not from the area? What are your legal costs? Okay, do you have a quote from your solicitor? You know, what are your refurb costs? Does that include everything, including your fees? Do you need building control? Do you need planning? You know, all of these things take knowledge and understanding. And actually, something that's coming to light with me at the minute a lot is when people say, oh, I made this, that and the other, return, or the X on a flip. Say, did you price in your own time? I see you did a lot of. I see you did a lot of the work yourself. You know, do you work for free?
Yeah.
Well, no. Well, actually, I spent half a year doing it, and I didn't pay myself any money. I'm like, oh, so are you still in profit? And that's the thing. That's the message that people are putting out. Oh, I made a killing on that one. I'm like, you didn't.
Did you?
When you really look at the time, you've actually taken annual leave off work.
Yeah.
You took 2 weeks off work to do that.
And you've not factored that in.
And you don't have. And that's the thing that, when people, your time is precious. But also, can you afford something? Can you afford it? Is this actually a good deal? Or have you gone, oh goodness, I actually can afford it. I have to do the work myself at zero cost.
I've reached that point.
Yeah. So that's a big thing as well that I'm finding. And I'm like, if you want to do it right, it's going to cost.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't work for free.
Yeah.
And neither should you.
No, exactly.
How do you pay your bills?
I love it. Good on you. And there's your service. There you are, in the middle of all these people. I can do that for you. I can pick up on that. That's brilliant. Oh, I could chat to you for hours and hours and hours, missus. I'm just thinking, what on earth is the future ahead for you? What are the plans?
I ask myself that too.
Every day. I mean, there's so many ways you can expand and grow and change and tweak and stuff. Have you got any things you would love to get into, or a particular type of project you would love to get those management skills on top of?
I suppose that's it. From my background, I am so well used to working in big scale. My projects are the multi-million projects, and to me, it's just like this. It's just what I know is my bread and butter. So bringing it right the way back down to 15 grand refurb, it's just as difficult.
Yep.
You're really watching the pennies on those things, and you're maybe watching the pounds on the other ones.
It's just relative, isn't it?
It's just totally relative. Yeah. So something that I'd love to get into are the bigger, more challenging projects, whether that be, I suppose, conversions of either if it's residential into, apartments or something in a residential, or if it's commercial units
into
residential. And I love the idea. There are so many city centres that have buildings that back in the olden days they were houses, and then they converted them all into office spaces, and now the offices are gone from the city centres. Let's bring back the residential and start breathing a bit of life back into our cities and our towns. So that's something I'd love to get in. I think with my background and my experience, it's just finding the right people then to do it with. It's not so much, it doesn't scare me, and I'm fully aware of it. I've done, structural drawings, design drawings, all that kind of stuff. So I understand the process. And therefore I know what I'm looking out for whenever I'm talking to the right people. And that's something that I'd say medium to long term, that's what we're looking. Down the line, is it, new build houses, developments? I just don't know where this is going to go. Like, to be honest,
and that's exciting.
And that's it. Like, I have a passion. I'm doing it. We're taking one bit at a time, and I'm loving it. It's expanding. So it's doing those things, but then expanding the business and the helping people find investments. That I want to continue to expand. And then it's just bringing people in. And my biggest thing is going to be finding another me. Like, are there any more me's out there? So come forward. Somebody who's just as passionate and as driven, but as detailed orientated. I am a sucker for detail, and if it doesn't sound right, if it doesn't look right, investigate it or don't do it. Don't try to make it work.
That's right. Don't kid yourself.
If don't get caught up in a deal or in a project just for the love of it. It's a business. And if it's not going to work for me, then I'm certainly not going to pass it on to anybody that I want to do business with. And that's what I say. I'll only work with projects that I am confident in to take it. And I suppose that's where my service differs from so many other people who find investment properties, is that I'm committed to say, this is what I'm going to find for you. I'll even carry out the refurbishment and I'll bring it right to the end. So all of the costs that I've told you the whole way through, I'm prepared to back those up to actually do the work. Whereas I know you would get a lot of people who say, it's about 10 grand, but do that.
About that, you'll be fine.
And then they say, okay. And then they go forward with the purchase and they get it and they go, that's cost 25. Well, what was I to know? And they're gone.
I passed it on to you.
And that's gone. So what I'm saying is I'm committed. Whether or not you want to use me to do it, and you've got your own build team, that's fine. But I'm giving you that commitment that I will actually do it for the price stated. Obviously things change, things come up and down, and but that's all transparent, and it's showing people I'm in this with you. So trust me, and trust me the whole way, because I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm not taking your money and running. Do you know what I mean? Like, so many people have that fear. Or that I'm going to sell you down the river. When you become a client of mine, I want you to buy this one and the next one. And I want to tell you, I want you to tell your friends how great I am and everything. And so you are my biggest marketing tool. You're going to shout about how great I am because I'm going to do a great job. Like, that's free money. It's worth its weight in gold. Somebody else passing you on as a recommendation. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help everybody, but help myself. And by doing a good job, you're going to, shout about me.
Keep doing
it. That's it. Yep.
You're a class act, Mrs. See, there you go, listeners, viewers. Told you. I told you. She's a cracker. She's a superstar. She's amazing. So make sure you jump into those show notes. Make sure you can do that when it's safe to do so. Connect with her, watch her stuff, make sure you're following her, and reach out. Ask her for help. You heard that? And work with her if you're lucky to do so. Eimear, for your time today, thanks a million.
Thank you so much for having me. I have loved it, and I could talk all day long.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show as much as I did. Remember, with the guests that you just saw, go into the show notes for the page, because all of their links are there so that you can get in touch and to get more information. And talking about getting more information, more guests, more insights, more knowledge, etc., make sure you're subscribed. Get the subscription done, get the notifications on, and then we'll always keep in touch with you every single time a brand new show is going to come out. So thanks for tuning to This Week in Property.